Hi all, in this video I'm going to discuss more about locking concept. Okay, first we'll see acquiring a lock. What is acquiring a lock? I'll open PC admin as well parallelly. Okay, from there I'll explain you better. Hope it's opening. Yeah, it will open. So acquiring a lock means nothing but when two users simultaneously trying to open the case, it will allow first user to make the changes. Until then it will block second user. That means it won't allow second user to open the same case. How it will allow? There is a mechanism running backside that is called, one second. Yes, I have entered the password. Okay, so the data will be saving in schemas, data, tables, PR Sys-Locks. Okay, PR Sys-Locks. This is the table. Okay, I'll right click view all rows. Here the data will save until and unless the first user closed the case, the data will be here. It will not allow second user to open the case as I shown you in yesterday video. Okay, so acquiring a lock means when a user opens a work object, Pega acquires a lock on that instance. This ensures only that user who opened the case first can update it, avoiding conflicts. Lock is stored in system logs called system logs class in Pega. That is the table I have shown you now. Releasing a lock. Lock is released when this is completely a theory session. I'll show you the entire practical on this theory session in our next video. Okay, then you will understand better. Okay, the user submits or saves or close the work object. Yesterday I shown you, right? After closing the work object, the data is deleting from the database. Then the second user can open the same work object. Otherwise the logs times out, so there will be some timeout session as well. I'll show you that thing also when we are going to discuss about the concept of default locking. I'll show you, otherwise I'll show you now. Okay, there is a time. I'll open case type. We can see that there is a timestamp. See, for example, if one user opened one case, he did not close the case and he simply clocked the laptop and he went away. So the same case wants to update immediately by another user, but he already opened the case, so it is not allowing because of the record there in the syslocks table. So what will happen? It will give error to the second user. But if he logged out, first user logged out for the day, then what is the situation? For that, Pega is implemented a default timeout session, that is settings. You can see from here, locking. After ideal session of some time, after see timeout value 30 minutes. So if the first user not taking any action on the case which he opened for 30 minutes, then automatically the data will be deleted from the syslogs. That means the lock will be released. That is called releasing the lock. Okay, the lock timeout means after the timeout the lock will release automatically. Lock is released when the lock is timed out, or else if the user submit the case or close the case also lock will release. or an admin release it manually from system locks. Otherwise, we can open the database, we can delete the data from here so that the lock will release. There are three options to release the lock. This is the concept about acquiring a lock, releasing a lock. So the next concept is soft lock. What is soft lock? Allow multiple users to open the same work object, but only one user can update. Others can open in read-only mode. Prevent the data loss while still allowing visibility. This is called soft lock. That means, see, for example, I'll open one activity. I'll tell you from there so that you will understand. జీవితమే ఓ చిన్న మజిలీ. I'll open this activity. Okay. This is the lock, release on commit. So what it is saying, soft lock, what we are discussing about, allow multiple users to open the same work object, but only one user can update. Others can open in read only mode. Prevent the data loss while still allowing visibility. This is called soft locking. So while doing the activity, if we click on the lock, then this activity will be locked. If we submit the activity also, it will not get so others won't be change the same work object because it is already locked. It is called hard lock. Only the user who acquired the lock can open the work object. All others are completely blocked because we locked it until the lock is released. So if I click on here, release on commit, after he complete the case, the lock will release automatically. That is called soft lock. Okay, if I did not select this thing, release on commit, then it will become hard lock. Okay, what if if I click on here also, there is some scenario. If the commit fails, the lock will becomes hard lock. For that, we need to write exception handling to release the lock. If commit fails, then do something. So what we need to do something? Commit fails, then we have a function called, I'll show you, call work unlock. If commit fails, we can call that function to release the lock and roll back the action. That is exception handling scenario. That is not mandatory now. You just focus on lock and release on commit. Okay. If we click on lock, then the data will be logged. If we don't click on here, only the user who opened this work object can make the changes. Others won't be able to make the changes. That is called hard locking. If we click on here, once he submit or he close the case, then others also can log into the same work object or same case and they can make the changes. This is called soft locking. Okay. Okay. Next, optimistic locking and default locking. When a user opens a work object, Pega acquires lock on it as usual. Only that user can make updates until the lock is released. Okay, I have shown you the release time and all right here. See, release 30 minutes. It is called allow only one user is called normal locking. That is what we called here is default locking. If you can see the another scenario also, allow multiple users. So what is this? This is called optimistic locking. In this mode, no lock is taken when user opens a case. Multiple users can open the same case. Means if I open one work object, the same work object can be opened by another user and same lock and can be opened, same work object can be opened by another user. It will not lock, it will not prevent other users to open the same work object until and unless we submit the data. See, In this mode, no lock is taken when a user open a case. Multiple users can open the same case simultaneously. When someone tries to save or commit, Pega checks if the data has been changed by another user, means if the data is submitted by any one of the user, then if yes, the save fails and the user is asked to, then it will not, it will for if in that case, if the second user try to open submit the data, then it will not allow him to submit the data. Just like assume a cricket match is going on, then that cricket stadium management released the tickets on particular time. So not only one user can open the site and book the tickets, right? 1,000 users can at a time open the site and tries to book the tickets. But if the tickets are already booked, then the remaining users won't be able to book. That means the whoever opened first, they already submitted the data, so it is not allowing remaining people to submit the data. That is called optimistic locking. It will not prevent users to open the seats, but it will block. It will block after the seats are already booked. That is called optimistic locking. Call work on lock is a method in activities we use it to exception handling. I'll tell you in maybe in tomorrow's practical video. Okay, is method you can use activities to explicitly release a lock. To release a lock, we will use this. Uh, I told you right when we are discussing about soft lock and hard lock. Yes, you want to manually unlock a work object. We are using this call work unlock method and rollback to roll back the committed activities. If commit fails, we will roll back it. So this call work unlock and rollback are part of this commit with errors is a OOTB property. So I'll discuss these things about tomorrow's class. Okay, it is used to commit the work object or database even if there are validation errors or that means if the commit fails also it will release the lock. It will release hard lock, simply we can say it will release hard lock if the commit fails also. So this is a OOTB property. Commit with errors, I'll show you. It's not coming. mm, Add step. It should come, it's not coming. Okay, I'll show you these things tomorrow. Okay, commit with errors is a OOTB property we can use. It will just act as a call work unlock plus rollback. If commit fails, then the action will be rollbacked and it will release the lock. That's how. That means simply you can take an example of booking a bus ticket. If one user is trying to book the ticket, then the seat will be blocked until and unless if he then he changed his mind and he don't want to book the seat. What will happen if he already opened? Then in that case, second users won't be able to book the same ticket. But we need to write a exception handling like if he did not commit it, then just roll back it, open the case again, then it should allow other user to book the same seat. And in that case, we will use this commit with errors OOTB property. It should come here. I don't know why it is not coming. I'll check one more time. Okay. Yeah, it is coming. See, This is a OOTB property. Sorry, OOTB activity, not property. When commit fails, then roll back and call work on lock. Okay. When commit fails, it will roll back the transaction and it will release the lock to allow other user to do the changes on same work object. Okay, this is how it will work. Remaining things I'll show you practically. Whatever I discussed today, I'll show you all these things in practically in tomorrow's video. Until then, signing off, Rajesh Balaka. Bye bye. This is completely theory session. If you don't understand, don't worry. I'll show you on practical in tomorrow's video. Okay, thank you.